All right, I just saw Cats, the movie, and I wanted to do a quick review of the movie itself. Fuck. I'm not gonna try to make this a meme review. I'm gonna try to review this as an honest, this is like what I thought about the movie, not as a joke. I'm gonna tell you if I liked it or not. I didn't really know what to expect when I went to this movie. I just knew that it was like, there's a lot of social media buzz, and I was like, I'll just look at it for myself. And I was pretty, obviously pretty disturbed that they were cats, but people. I did not expect that. So they're cat people, like CGI'd people, but with cat qualities and tails and cat fur, I guess. It's pretty disturbing. I'm not going to tell you that it's like plot defying or that it ruined the movie. Like, that was not going to ruin the movie for me. I didn't really care. It was weird, no doubt, but it was fine. I could have lived with it if I liked the movie. So I'm going to go over my notes here. So the first problem I have with this movie is that the actual plot without singing spans about 5 minutes. It's the plot takes place over one night, but if you stop singing and you just like would play this out like a story, it's like a 10-minute event, and that's just fucking weird. It's boring. Most of this movie is so boring. You want to talk about the first hour of this movie? You just introduced to characters that you just don't give a shit about because they don't matter. Some of the people are put into the movie like for comedic purposes, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but when you're watching it, you don't know why you're watching it. All right. I'm just going to try to go this one at a time so I can hit everything. Yeah, so I was just talking about that. Useless, wasted time. I'm gonna spoil the movie because if you're offended by fucking cat spoilers movies, then I feel so fucking bad for you. You shouldn't be. I'm just gonna spoil it. So it's this like feral cat or whatever. She gets dumped onto the street, and she's just introduced to everyone in the movie who apparently is in this neighborhood. And like 90% of the movie is her just being introduced to people in the neighborhood who you really just don't care about. And there's one character in particular. He's like the soul singer. He doesn't even have any like plot elements in the movie, and he takes up he has his song is like 15 minutes. Oh God, I really hated that. Yeah, and so now I'm gonna talk about the humor like in depth. It's slapstick comedy like all the way through. The girl from the singing movie, I can't even think of the name of it, but the heavyset Australian girl, it's fine, I guess. But it falls a lot of the time, like her humor is the only one that lands like sometimes. Most of the time it's so boring. Like she'll hit herself in the face with a chain, or some dude will hit himself in the balls or something like that. Like just childish comedy that just does not land for me. It didn't hit right. No one in the theater was laughing either. All 5 of us, or 6 people, I think. It wasn't funny. It was just awkward, honestly. Okay, so this is a singing movie, obviously. It's about Broadway. The songs were not good. Not good at all. So I understand that you have to talk when you're singing in like Broadway musicals or like just musicals in general, because you have to like move the story along. You can't sing like a full like not like a regular song. I just said Taylor Swift because she's in the movie, but like, you know, when a regular song on the radio, it's a harmonious thing throughout the entire time. But in this, it's like 90% talking, where they're just talking along to the beat. And so I'm going to compare, like, for the rest of you, I'm probably going to compare this to one of my favorite movies ever. Because if you think that I hate musicals, I really don't. Because Singing in the Rain is one of my favorite movies. It's easily my top 5, probably my top 3 favorite movies of all time. And of course there's talking when they're in there, but they actually like end up in the song and they flow into the song, and the songs carry the plot. And that's like the whole point of a musical, I'm pretty sure. And the songs just go nowhere. It's just introductions to characters that ultimately don't have any influence on the story. I don't care about them. Give me songs that compel the plot forward, because most of the time I don't know what the fuck's going on. The music is often so loud that you can't hear what they're saying. I can't understand the lyrics, and I'm trying to figure out what's happening, because I'll talk about it later, but it's confusing. I don't even know what's going on. I hated it. Not one song was catchy in this movie. Taylor Swift was passable. The rest of the songs were not good, or songs that I would download on Apple Music after. Like, even like when you talk about something like Aladdin, like Disney's Aladdin, which was like, I guess, controversial or whatever, because all of the CGI, the live action Disney movies are, but I downloaded a couple songs so they were catchy. It is not like that in this movie, because they talk too much in the songs. The main characters are like, so the plot relevant characters are not interesting at all. The main cat girl is literally just there so that they have, it's like they made the songs first, and then they were just like, dude, how are we going to make sense? How's this going to make sense if we're bringing all these weird characters that don't matter in the story? Well, why don't you just bring in a feral cat and we'll just walk her along and have her do her thing. And like, all the main characters like have their one moment in the plot to shine. Like her, like the main character, cat girl or whatever, like her main thing is to bring the crying lady to like the center stage, or she's like full of wonder or something like that, like trying to find thing. But most of the time she just like doesn't talk. For a movie that has like talking, singing so much, like there's not enough dialogue in the movie at all. And you hear her, like, in the beginning, she literally won't talk, and it's strange because they're staring at her. Oh, and I don't even know if I put this in my notes, but something that that's something that's worthy of note is that you can hear them breathing a lot. It is constantly in the movie after songs or in the middle of things, and you can hear them slurping sometimes when they're like drinking milk or something. It is so physically uncomfortable to listen to. And I thought the first time, I'm like, okay, I guess they're just saying, and that's like what you do on Broadway, but you think you get rid of that because it's a movie, and that's not, people don't breathe heavy in movies like that on purpose. But whatever. I really hated that. Oh, okay, so now we're going to get into like the main plot elements. So the main woman or whatever, I don't even know what she's called or what her name is, whatever, but the old lady, she has like the power to God, to transcend people into another life, but she's like not as powerful as this wizard guy, who I'll also talk about. It's like, where do you draw the line? Like, she chooses who goes up in this like what's it, hot air balloon, and transcends time and space and has like a better life. That seems pretty powerful to me, but she can't do other wizardly things that happen in this movie. I thought that made no sense at all. Okay, so now I'll talk about the villain, who like wants to transcend time and space and have this new life. It's like, what life could possibly be better than the one that he has? He literally is a omniscient, godly wizard. He's more powerful than the old lady. What better life is there for you? You are more powerful than every character. It's like, if you just weren't such a dick, your life would be great. You could be a nice wizard cat and do whatever the hell you wanted, because his powers are undefined. He transports people through time and space itself. What life is better than that? All the other cats are just normal cats. Okay, so now I want to talk about the setting of the movie, which is in London, I guess you come to find out. It doesn't make sense. So everything's cat themed in the city, which, okay, that makes sense. They're cats. So I'm thinking, this must just be a cat civilization. It's just cats. And they have their own life and their own society. That's fine. I can live with that. Especially if this is a Broadway story. It's not like it's supposed to be IRL. But there's elements of people living there everywhere. And it's like all the bars are like dispense milk. But there's so many hints of human beings being there, and there's also dogs. So like, where does it all fit in? You know? Do people go to milk bars in this society? Is the city supposed to transform at night for cats? People must not know that the cats are like. Let's like even look at IRL life with people. Are like bars and stuff aren't named after human beings, because it was like every sign was cat centric. I can't even remember because I don't care, but it was so blatantly like throwing the word cat into every single building. It's like, that's not really what it would look like. Why can't you call it something else? I don't know. So yeah, that was really stupid, and it was confusing. And yeah, that's basically it. And the last point I had is that the music was so loud that you literally can't understand them. And then apparently at the end there was this whole thing about how you should treat cats or something, and that wasn't like the main theme of the story at all. It was just shoot in about the real name of your cat. Yeah, the opening scene is about your 3 names, and it was so confusing. I had no idea what was going on. I was just upset on like over the whole thing. But it was so dry and not fun. Like, Singing in the Rain is talking about a time where like actors were having to learn how to speak, and this was like a real thing that happened, and the songs span across that entire era of time. It's like it's almost like not a decade, but you know, it's a significant amount of time where you see this transition in life and the struggles of that, and these songs carry the plot forward into better things, and the songs have meanings and they're relevant to like what the overarching kind of story is all about. But in this, people are just singing to sing. So yeah, this is not a meme review. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to give you like a legit reason why this movie is garbanzo beans. Absolute trash. Terrible. I'm serious. Please, if you see this, do not see this movie. Not as a joke. Don't even download it. If it goes to like Hulu or Netflix and stuff, please do not encourage people to make this kind of thing. The movie probably would have been better if they just had CGI'd cats, like not people. But like I said, the score is so dog shit. Awful to listen to in your ears. If the songs were good, I could have listened to these intros of these people, but they're so unbearably unlistenable. It's offensive. I said it was borderline satanic in the beginning. It felt that way. Nothing happens in the first hour of this movie, and the fact that it's longer than an hour should be a crime. They belong in jail. Whoever made this movie, I hope you go to jail, and I hope you rethink everything you've done in your life. Please remake this movie and make it have a story. It's so empty. And like I guess I'll talk about it. Like the girl the crying cat who eventually gets the wizard, the godly like second chance at life. So boring. She just cries and snot runs down her nose the entire movie. That's her character. And she like helps him at the end for no one really knows why. I guess because the girl is nice to her, maybe. Oh, and when they rub their faces together, it's so cringy. I wouldn't even say this movie's cringe. It kind of is, but not really. It's just bad. Please, do not see this movie. I'm begging you. It's a legitimately bad movie. It's not a joke. It's bad. Thank you.